Hey everyone, it's Johnny Osmosis down in the Oz Cave. Hope everyone's doing great. Starting off the New Year's off to a good one. Just want to do a quick solo podcast number 2. Kind of summary, sync up, kickoff, whatever we want to call it. I've got some notes prepared, so you're going to see me looking down because I don't want to forget anybody, anything. There's a lot of really cool things happening amidst a somewhat volatile time in a bunch of different realms, but putting that aside, first want to just start out with hope everyone's having a great new year. You're off to a good start with any of the goals that you might have had, tail end of 2020, and now you're commencing those. And I'm sure some of it might be tough, but little by little, step by step, that's going to make all the difference by giving yourself a break, starting small, looking at the day of, not looking, 3 months from now, 6 months from now. So wanted to throw that out there. But then, of course, I'm, always shouting out, championing. So thank you, Neil Carroll and Vidwheel, Creator Network Vidwheel here in Buffalo, New York, for what they've done for me with this beautiful microphone and all the setup here. This microphone. I pick all things to pick the microphone, but everything here, the reason this looks so darn good is because of Neil, Morgan, and team over at Vidwheel Creator Network. So big shout out to you guys and gals, and also looking forward to Thursday evening for the Creator Network video series that you guys do tomorrow night. Looking forward to attending using my setup. So just some quick things. Again, trying to keep this super brief. I know I struggled with that in my first solo podcast, and thanks to all those, again, who checked that out and for the great words and support there for last week's solo podcast. But so, 8 days removed from that marathon that was talked about in solo podcast number 1. So much love and support. And by the way, I'm repping my David Goggins shirt. David Goggins, Buffalo native, world's toughest man. Pretty cool. Back of the shirt there, more cooler than the front one. But yeah, so really an incredible happening last Tuesday as I had manifested on and put out to the universe that I was going to run 26.2 miles on the year anniversary of my abstaining from alcohol and just overall transformation, we'll call it. So want to send thanks and love to the folks that have given me support, day of even. A lot of people sending texts, messages, super grateful. You were part of my motivation, my fuel, my inspiration as I carried through those 3 hours and 17 minutes on that marathon, alongside, of course, Nikki Martone, who I spoke at length about on my first podcast, solo podcast last week. Nick was there in 26, 27 degrees. Yeah, it was sunny, and there wasn't snow, but there was wind, and we were on the coastline of Grand Island. So he endured that. He made it easy for me. He carried my supplies, and without him, I probably couldn't have done it in the time I did because he was basically traffic control. So traffic control and support and motivation, and he was a big part of the equation for me that started the transformation last January. Excuse me. So that was super cool. So just sending love and thanks to those that again weighed in and sent texts. And Steve Coulton also, he and Judy, his now fiance, actually surprised us by stopping on Grand Island, and Steve gets out of the car in his dress clothes and runs over and joins me for a couple minutes and sending again in-person gratitude or in-person energy and support and words of affirmation. So cool. And just also too, yesterday I put out just a plug here in a way, a LinkedIn article that basically was part 1 of a mini manifesto that I plan to do bi-monthly, so twice a month at least, things that that are hopefully useful to those who are following my journey. Now into start of year 2 of this transformative way that I've kind of lived and the way that I've immersed in mindset and gratitude and mindfulness and physical fitness and so many other things, doing work in the community. So LinkedIn article was out yesterday, got a lot of good feedback on that. So just wanted to also send gratitude and thanks to those who weighed in, whether they commented or texted or some form of contact. I really really appreciate it. It makes it, all the more special to share my story, but then also see it resonate with so many. So excited to keep that series going as part of a new thing here in 2021 on LinkedIn, and probably sooner than later on different platforms as well. I wanted to also, though, here we are, more than a couple minutes in, throw a big shout out to my pals over at Helm Experience and Design here in Buffalo, New York. User interface, user experience, mobile dev, software dev, do a lot of great work with startups, but companies of all sizes. So they took the leap of faith on me in conversations at end of 2020, and we just kicked it off this week. So I wanted to make sure I spent a minute to send gratitude, as is the theme with a lot of my content. To take the leap of faith on me and give me a chance to connect, collaborate, and champion, as Osmosis here says, on behalf of Nick, John, and that's Nick Barone, Johnny Gorcyzka, and team over at Helm. So super excited to be doing work with them. That then also allows me to kind of talk about just briefly Bad Golf Business School, who Nick, one of the partners, founders of Helm, has been a great supporter of and attendee at Bad Golf Business School. And for those who may not have heard of Bad Golf Business School, it's something that Johnny Capel and I, alongside Clark Dever, who now just kind of looks from afar, which Clark was the one who came up with the name. So kudos, Clark, because that's been catchy for the last year and a half, going on more even. But John Capel of Intersect, they're a 3D manufacturing company, by the way, and I are going to get into a reconnect talk sooner than later. This might be news to him as I put it out on the podcast, but I'll be reaching out to you, Johnny baby, to circle back and just catch up, and then Bad Golf Business School. But the reason I'm bringing that up right now in a reboot potentially, I don't know about in person yet. Again, public health, monitoring that, trying to keep that low key and being safe, of course, with social distancing. But we might do something virtual. So if that happens, or somehow maybe it's a couple months from now, we are able to do some in-person networking and keep it limited, it will be brought to you by Helm Experience and Design. So super grateful to Helm for their support of Osmosis Consulting, of me, of Bad Golf Business School, and then just generally, the community. That's why it's such an honor for me to be working with John and Nick and team, because they've been such incredible tech, entrepreneurship, just business, but also just community-focused people, the betterment of everyone, doing the right thing, creating value. So super grateful and excited, guys, Johnny and Nick, to be working with you and the team as we just kicked it off a couple days ago. So excited there. And then just kind of on the list here, I'm looking at my notes. I'm pointed back, like I mentioned in my first solo podcast, to that sweet axe back here, Osmosis branded. My buddy Andrew Piechowicz, he's come on as a client as well. We've got some cool things going with Hatchets and Hops. Obviously, tough time for restaurants, a tough time for event space. And so, I want to plug in and work with him in any ways that I can. He's a great friend and, funny enough, a big supporter, probably one of the biggest supporters of Bad Golf Business School. So tying a lot of things together here. But it's cool because Andrew and I reconnected a couple weeks back, and we tossed some axes. He hooked me up with that. We connected, though, and the one thing that really shined through with me and Hatchets and Hops, and how he can still add so much value to so many companies, so many people, groups, whatever, is that team building aspect of bringing people together. Again, socially distanced, masks, safe, and he's totally set up his locations to be very safe with Hatchets and Hops. But some of the use cases that he kind of uncovered to me that he's seen as his time as owner of Hatchets and Hops, it's really, really special. And someone who's loves team building, loves humans, loves community. That resonated with me. So I'm excited to have Hatchets and Hops on board as he and I found a title, a brand extraordinaire, kind of champion ambassador for him. And we will be doing a podcast in a couple weeks and releasing that. And stay tuned, because that's going to be, I won't say it, you might guess, but it's going to be probably the most unique video podcast that is, again, thanks to vidwheel Creator Network here, probably the most unique podcast that we'll have been shooting. So stay tuned there, and just all other clients, right? So, we got the more prominent one here is EmergenceTek Group, cloud development, cloud computing. It's where I, spent, the first 5 years of my career was there. And that has been really special to be working with them. So big shout out there. And then just wanted to throw out a few quick other things, trying to stay within 10 minutes here for LinkedIn purposes. But, really exciting news coming out of the marathon with the marathon that we're going to run, I should say, for Team PGA Hope, helping our Patriots everywhere. So I got my PGA Hope hat on. Which way do I got to go? There we go. PGA Hope, helping our Patriots everywhere. It's a cause that I've been a part of now for well over a year, and super close with the folks that run it. Steve Barkowski. I know Timmy Freeze is a big part of that. Tim over at Glen, and then Nick Martone, who, again, I've mentioned so many times, my brother there, USMC, Marine veteran. We got some cool things in the works. One of them being that we've got a pretty nice team building so far. We've brought in some new names to our marathon, which, again, I should step back quickly. I got caught up with the time, and I'm realizing now that I'm over time probably for file size on LinkedIn. So just going to roll with it and finish this up properly and go through YouTube. But the marathon that we're running is Buffalo Marathon. I mentioned it in my article. I mentioned it in other content. We were supposed to run the marathon last year, but it was canceled because of COVID, which makes sense. And so this year it's still on. It's May 30th, 2021, and we will be raising awareness and funds for veterans, for the programs that PGA Hope underneath PGA Reach, which is the overall foundation. Reach works with 3 pillars. It works with groups of diversity, diverse populations, demographics, that is. It works with youth, and then, of course, it works with military veterans. So exciting to have the team coming together. Again, Steve Barkowski, Executive Director of PGA Reach and Western New York PGA. We got Nicky Martone, who's a National Ambassador for PGA Hope. Alex Villafranca from Arbite Software and Verde Golf, my brother there. He brought him in. He's going to crush it like everyone else. Stevie Coulton, Encore Golf, one of the founders, one of my great friends. He's joined the team. Bobby Pawlowski, a great friend of mine. He is also joined the team from Alliance Advisory. Then we got Joel Shapiro just yesterday, my brother there, a good friend of mine. I've known Joel now for some years. He's a runner, and he's excited to be, he's already signed up, but he's going to join our team to help raise awareness and funds. So shout out to Joel. And then last but not least, Justin Chattel, who is also a financial advisor and a family friend, and does great work in the community and is a great runner. I know firsthand, we've run together. So just a quick shout out to those folks, to the marathon team, to the things going on for PGA Reach in the community. And a lot of it, if not all of it, is really centered at Glen Oak in East Amherst. Glen Oak Golf Club, which has become the golf hub of Western New York. So I'm really excited to be doing some great work there. And we did a podcast a couple of weeks ago that's up on YouTube. And then just last but not least, serious gratitude to coaching clients. I've got some official clients that I've been working with now for a couple of weeks, and I'm starting to see some really cool growth from these folks. It's an honor and a privilege to work with these people who are growth mindset oriented and are looking to optimize, to transform, to be better. So my gratitude to you all, and to some new ones that are coming in, and some folks that are interested. I welcome you to check out some of the content I put out, some of the things that I've done in order to kind of transform, if you will, from end of 2019 through end of 2020. And the goal there is to arm you with a playbook and interface with you 3 times in a month, 10 days spread out, for that 30-day engagement, to help you get your own playbook and keep you accountable, and then help you, get inspired and motivated. But not even that, but just to find drive, which is everlasting. In my opinion, I've found drive, and that's why I've been able to, run marathons and thousands of miles and start my own business and lose 50 pounds, yada, yada, yada. You get the point. So my gratitude there. And I've hit on this a few times, but we got a couple other really awesome podcasts in the queue. Some of them that are already filmed that we'll be releasing soon, but also we've got some others in the works, in the plans. I mentioned one of them with my brother Andrew Piechowicz over at Hatchets and Hops. So excited to get that going. And I know I didn't hit all my clients, a lot of them though. There's a lot of support that I've gotten that I wouldn't be here without these early adopters. And I'm hopeful and grateful, I should say faithful, that they're seeing value. I'm seeing value, and it's exciting to do great work and connect, collaborate, and champion. So I don't think I forgot anything here, but solo podcast number 2, officially hopefully in the books here, just under 15 minutes. And again, as always, appreciate your feedback, comments, questions, tips, tricks, anything that I could do to better connect with you, to better add value. I'm still pretty new to this video thing and, learning on the fly, but that's how it goes. So every day getting better, focusing on day by day, sometimes minute by minute, hour by hour, task by task. So just keep rocking it, and I'm sending my love, my gratitude, my energy, the Energizer, Johnny Osmosis, over here on solo podcast number 2. Looking forward to all the great things to come here in 2021 and weathering the storm of sorts from 2020 and just building on what's been built and helping others build, because that's the key. I want to just give back constantly, interfacing, engaging, supporting, uplifting, energizing, all of that to the folks that are in my orbits. Again, deep gratitude. So as always, you got this. We got this. Keep going. Johnny Osmosis out.